And once again, we are live on the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by Radu. Radu, how are you doing today?
Good evening. How are you, Divina Kate?
Very well, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us. I'm very excited to hear about your experience about becoming a ritual master. And I thought it'd be really nice to kind of kick off and, could you give us a little bit of background and explain why did you want to even become a ritual master?
Sure. So I joined the Modern Mystery School about 4 years ago, and I joined from a background where people, talking about lots of stories about magic and how we are more capable than this physical life. And I was looking to tap into more of this, like starting to communicate to angelic beings and do magic and all that stuff. So in the beginning, I started as everybody else with Empower Thyself. And Empower Thyself, although it's full of information and insights and tools and all that, it got me a little bit disappointed because coming from all the stories, the reality was very basic. And in that reality, everybody was telling me like, "Oh, you're gonna be such a good ritual master. You have all the talents and everything you need. You're gonna be great as a ritual master." But then again, like the ritual master path was so far away from me because you need to go through all the steps to become a ritual master. So after going for all my resistance, I eventually went to Healer's Academy and became a ritual master. And I was very excited about it. I was very diligent, just like, okay, give me all the rituals, give me all the tools, all the teachings. I wanna start working with all this right away. And it's been a very interesting experience for me because it was everything I ever wanted and even more, but also it wasn't fulfilling me on the level I was thinking it's going to fulfill me. Because as a little bit of a background, I was a software engineer back then, and I was living all my life just like doing easy work and having lots of money and just like looking how to have fun and how to make my life even more easier, because that's been my entire goal, my entire life. I just like, I'm not here to toil and work, and I'm here to be smart and solve things very fast and move on with my life. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I have a lot of time on my hands because I was like finishing all my job and everything, and I was just at home as a regular person watching TV or playing video games, and um, it was leaving me with a hole inside. And I was feeling that with excitement. So for me, the ritual master path, when I stepped onto it, was just excitement. Okay, let's do the cool things and do all these things. Like I've heard stories about ritual master. I want to be a ritual master. I'm gonna be the greatest ritual master, and so on. And then I did everything, and like a couple of months later, I found myself, okay, I've done everything I wanted to do, and now I'm bored again. So um, luckily for me, I was very diligent, and I was going to all the programs and all the classes with Dave. And at some point in, I think it was self-leadership class, Systems Dave told me, like, you're just going to do the things that you feel like doing, you're going to feel miserable on the inside. And then I stopped for a second and I looked at my entire life. I've just done all the things I ever wanted, and just that my life was miserable. So that's when I scrapped everything and I started new. Okay, let's be a real ritual master. So that's where I can say, okay, that's when I stepped on the path for real. And
And
then the
and
path.
yeah,
Sorry, go.
tell us a little bit about what the difference is now to, you just taking the class and just going, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not, what is the difference now? What do you do now that I'm assuming that you feel a little bit more fulfilled and joyous and such
Yeah.
like?
So I am a lot more fulfilled now, but in truth, my life is not that much different. The little details make the difference. So I can look at my life, it's very much like it was previously. I mean, maybe I changed my job or I changed the place I live or stuff like that. But in the big picture, it's almost the same. It's the little details that have changed. And that's the difference between being in illusion and being in reality. Because in the illusion, I was always unhappy because there was just this next great thing on the horizon. It's like, I need to get there. what I have right now is not good enough. I need to get there where it's the next great thing. That's a thing in software engineering. The next startup, the next big thing, the next great invention, and so on. Now I've given up chasing all that. I've just come back to basics. I start doing the things as the teachings were a thing, and start experiencing life. Is like life has become a lot more simpler and a lot more meaningful at the same time. And for me, it's been a great difference because I started looking at everything in my life, basically at relationships, at what I do in the morning, how I make my schedule, how I fulfill my tasks, what I do with my money, what activities I engage with, and all that things. And I've found out some things that are both disturbing at first, but also great opportunities to change things. Because in Romania, there's lots of talks about how there's good magic and bad magic, and like how we are victims. Like someone did this to you, and that's why you cannot have a good relationship, or that's why you're not having success at your work, and all that thing. And me and other friends have been chasing about all these things. Okay, what's these things that have been done to me that prevents me for being successful? And chasing the very complicated things first, like the trying to find like this complicated scheme that's preventing me to be successful, when in reality, like, we've been ignoring the simple things. Okay, if you want to be successful, you have to have a good schedule, you have to communicate well with people and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, okay, there's going to be some weird things, maybe some circumstances you have to deal with, but that's like very small in comparison of with what you can do just by dealing with the things that actually a regular person should be dealing with before they want to step onto higher magics or advanced teaching. Just like be a good regular person.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because what I'm hearing is it's almost like, with your initiations and your activations and walking the path, it's brought order. The light has brought this order into your, that structure that we talk about. And when that order comes in, it creates this huge container for us to move around, to achieve everything that we want, but in a state of peace, know. I don't know if you felt that too.
That's very similar with my life, because I've had all these people looking at me and seeing the potential. Oh, you have so much light. Oh, you're doing such great things, and all these good things happening around you. But in reality, it was just like dissipated. It isn't. I mean, it's all there, but it didn't have any result in my life. So since I've been doing, like, this past year, I've been doing things very diligently and trying to be more in integrity, trying to do things more like keeping my word, or if I put something on the schedule, follow up with it, and so on. And instead of bringing all this light and just like letting it flow all over the place, and at the end of the day, maybe some good out of it, but not nearly enough as it could have been. And once I brought all this structure and discipline and all that, things really started happening.
I love that. And then we're almost out of time, but it's so funny, isn't it? It's the thing that I resisted to: structure, discipline, authority. Anything like that, I was like, no. And I just recently, just wrote a post on it as well. Those are all the things that brought me the most freedom. My mind is free at last, and I can truly choose what it is that I really want to post and what is mediocre.
Exactly, yeah. Mediocre is not for us anymore.
Exactly. Radu, thank you so much for your insights and your honesty, and how you found the path, because I know a lot of people will relate to this, that successful people that are always chasing that, the boredom that it comes, and it's like, okay, so what, and then really having the courage to go down and really look at stuff and really start working at the simple stuff, because that's where we get results. And thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, lovely. And thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you all again soon. Take care for now.
Bye bye.